simple human sense.
We still have a lot of sunshine across mid-Michigan this afternoon. Satellite and radar very quiet in terms of the activity that it is showing across the lower peninsula. Despite the sunshine, temperatures still trending on the cooler side of things. We're currently at 36 degrees in Lansing, 35 our current temperature in Jackson, and 34 in St. John's and Owasso. We hold on to dry conditions as we go throughout the rest of the day today. Temperatures will be topping out in the mid to low 40s, but our potential for severe weather will yet again increase as we go throughout the afternoon and evening hours of the day tomorrow. We'll have more details on that next system coming up in just a bit. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at Noon.
The United States is set to impose sweeping tariffs on foreign countries tomorrow, which most likely will be met with retaliatory tariffs on American imports. It's our top story at noon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. There are fears these new tariffs could make inflation even worse. Washington Bureau correspondent Trevor Shirley is here for you now with the latest from the White House.
The White House says these tariffs will spur domestic production, but some economists say they're not so sure. The White House says Wednesday is Liberation Day, as new global tariffs are set to take effect, which the administration believes will liberate America from dependence on foreign goods.
Whatever they charge us, we charge them, but we're being nicer than they were.
But some economists fear those tariffs could hit the middle and working classes the hardest, even as the White House says it will make the country more prosperous.
Every economist of every stripe will tell you is going to, in fact, raise the price of goods for Americans.
The tariffs include a 25% duty on all foreign cars, which some critics say will drive up prices, hurting the middle class.
The worst part is nobody knows what these tariffs will look like, perhaps not even Donald Trump.
The White House says the president will unveil specifics Wednesday.
He's doing what's best for Main Street. It's going to be very exciting.
Already the stock markets are shaky, with investors uneasy about what's to come. Democratic Senator Cory Booker railing on the tariffs during an all-night speech against the administration.
This drives the cost of goods up, and the consumer is the one who ends up paying the increase.
But the president says the tariffs are needed because he claims other countries are ripping off the United States.
We help everybody, and they don't help us.
The president is expected to address more specifics on Wednesday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley, WGN News.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel now has joined a coalition of 18 attorneys general in sending a letter to congressional leaders. It's in opposition to what's known as the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, or SAVE Act. They argue the proposed legislation would create unnecessary and burdensome proof of citizenship requirements that would effectively disenfranchise millions of eligible voters around the country. The SAVE Act would amend the National Voter Registration Act, requiring voters to provide documentary proof of citizenship before registering to vote. They say more than 21 million voting-age citizens do not have ready access to a passport or birth certificate, and 80% of married women would not have a valid birth certificate under the SAVE Act because they chose to adopt their partner's last name. The attorneys general also highlight concerns about the substantial administrative and financial burdens the act would place on state election systems. AG Nessel, also among the group of attorneys general from 23 states in the District of Columbia, now suing the Trump administration over its decision to take back $11 billion from public health departments. That money went toward COVID-19 efforts, as well as addiction and mental health programs. The lawsuit claims we'll see a devastating effect on public health if the federal government refuses to pay the rest of the money. Meanwhile, state and local public health departments are still assessing the impact this loss of funds will have. Hundreds of employees are wrapped around in Washington, D.C., around the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Some already have received dismissal notices as part of the overhaul meant to lay off as many as 10,000 workers. The notices started coming today, just days after the Trump administration moved to strip federal workers of their collective bargaining rights at HHS and other agencies. Some say they're still waiting to learn whether or not they even have a job. Others have gathered together after learning they've been eliminated following decades of service. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he's restructuring the department because it has failed to improve the health of Americans. Happening today, a community resource fair geared toward helping mid-Michiganders get relief if they've fallen behind on utility bills. The Lansing Board of Water and Light is hosting this event. Anyone behind on bills can get access to information, resources, and financial assistance. 15 other organizations are participating too, including the Greater Lansing Food Bank, Capital Area District Libraries, and Lansing 311. The Community Resource Fair runs from 2 to 6 at the Geyer Community Center. It's free to attend, and you don't need to register beforehand. Also happening today, the planting of a pinwheel garden in Lansing. It's to raise awareness for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Each April, advocates try to spread awareness about how to prevent child abuse. The Small Talk Children's Advocacy Center says today's event also is meant to symbolize joy, hope, and the carefree childhood every kid deserves. The Pinwheel Garden and new initiative to raise awareness is in partnership with the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office. Advocates from both invite community members to join them for this ceremony. It's at 2 o'clock this afternoon outside of the Veterans Memorial Courthouse on West Kalamazoo Street in Lansing. The Mackinac Bridge remains closed today to all traffic due to hazardous ice falling from its cables and towers. The Mackinac Bridge Authority says it's monitoring conditions at various points along the Mighty Mac and will reopen it to traffic once conditions improve. However, it's not clear yet when exactly that could be. The Bridge Authority says it will post updates on its website, and we have a link to that on our website, WLNS.com. The Michigan Department of Transportation now bringing back its Paint the Plow program, where students have the chance to design a plow blade. It's used to not only clear the roads in the winter, but also to send a safety message to drivers. This year's theme is Give Plows Space, It's Not a Race. And MDOT will accept design applications from schools throughout the state through Friday, May 16th. The state says selected schools will receive their plow blade in the fall and will have 6 weeks to complete the design before MDOT gets it back to use for its winter maintenance season. These painted plow blades also will be visible along state highways throughout the winter months.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Of course, cleanup efforts across mid-Michigan from Sunday's round of severe weather still ongoing, and we are going to be able to complete those cleanup efforts today with dry weather remaining in the forecast. In terms of power outages that we have across the viewing area, current number of customers sitting just above 36,000 across the region. Major improvement compared to where we were yesterday. But again, the potential for severe weather is going to return to the forecast by tomorrow evening. The system that's going to be bringing those showers and thunderstorms still brewing off to our west over towards the Rockies. It's not going to impact us today, but as it moves closer, we are going to see a very slight increase in cloud cover this evening. Storm Prediction Center currently has areas along and south of I-93 and an enhanced level 3 risk for strong to severe storms to our north and portions of Shiawassee, Clinton, Ionia counties, and all of Gratiot and Montcalm County currently in that level 2 out of 5 risk. The biggest concern that I have really going to be the potential for significant, strong and damaging wind gusts across the region. Storm Prediction Center currently has all of our area in this hatched area, which does mean that we're looking at the potential for wind gusts as high as 75 plus miles per hour. Also, we have an elevated concern for some large quarter-size hail, and an isolated tornado threat still remains present across our region. If we time this all out for you, again, mostly sunny conditions on the forecast for the next few hours, with cloud cover slowly increasing this evening. That system will begin to move in later on tonight into early Wednesday morning. A couple of very light snow flurries will be possible across the region, going to be very minor in terms of accumulations and impacts across the region. As we move into Wednesday morning, again, warm front will begin to lift north. We have a couple of showers and non-severe thunderstorms possible late Wednesday morning into the early afternoon. Big question that we have in the forecast: how much will our atmosphere be able to recover after this first round of precipitation precipitation. If we're able to destabilize the atmosphere enough and gain enough instability, we have a better chance for those showers and thunderstorms come Wednesday evening. Potential for severe weather really going to start to ramp up right around 6 or 7 o'clock Wednesday evening, continuing until around midnight, with this line of showers and thunderstorms being our main focus in the forecast. Again, additional updates will be needed as we go throughout the rest of the day and still by tomorrow morning. So be sure to check back in on air and online at WLNS.com for those details. In addition to the threats that I mentioned before, also fairly minor concerns in terms of flooding across the region. Ground already really saturated from our previous round of precipitation over the weekend, and we'll tack on an additional 1 to 2, possibly localized amounts closer to that 3-inch mark. Outside right now, again, plenty of sunshine across the region. Temperatures in the mid-30s. Our 6-day forecast going to show highs today will be below average. We're only going to make it up to a high of 45 degrees. Weather aware day in place for tomorrow due to the potential for those showers and thunderstorms. We will be able to dry things out by the time we get into our Thursday. High temperatures in the upper 50s by then. One more chance for just a couple of sprinkles as we move into the start of the weekend. And then those cooler, below average temperatures will return by Sunday.
Yeah, that's a lot going on.
Yeah, I said it this morning before too. It's a 1-2 punch that we kind of have going on here, unfortunately.
Well, thanks for keeping an eye on it for us.
No problem.
Well, coming up, why President Trump says he's frustrated with both Russian and Ukrainian leaders as talks toward a ceasefire seem to stall.